People, that's how you book a 2-hour episode of Raw. This episode was just absolute chaos. Reed and Rollins just fighting throughout the entire show, meaningful matches, Carlito being the needle mover, new intercontinental champion, and people, excuse me for my language, but I think you're with me right here. Seeing this made my Coco Jumbo tingle. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. This is an absolute dream match, dude. Two of my absolute favorite new guys in the WWE. Now, unfortunately, Samantha is no longer with the WWE. Broke our hearts. The good news is we got Lillian Garcia. It was a bit of a rough start. Containers! But hey, if I start making fun of somebody for messing up the words, I don't know what's more hypocritical. But yes, people, the Great One and the Coco Jumbo community wishes Samantha the best. She literally made this moment so much more special to me. She was absolutely one of a kind, so, you know, it breaks our hearts a little. But the Bloodline storyline is very interesting right now, and I love that WWE are taking it slowly and making sure it makes sense. I mean, after all of this... Yeet? I guess so. People, let's talk about Monday Night Raw, but I want to start by talking about the sponsor of today's video, Wrestling GM, the best wrestling simulation game out there, where you can fantasy book any real-life situation or match within the game. For example, we all love Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk, so in Wrestling GM, you can actually recreate that. Or you can pick a star and make sure he becomes the next Stone Cold Steve Austin of your universe. You see, in Wrestling GM, you can create your own universe. You can create your own company, wrestlers, championships, and even in-depth characters like managers and commentators. One of the best things about Wrestling GM is that you can upload custom photos and avatars to recreate real live superstars, and you can even give them custom backstories. So pretty much you can have real wrestlers in Wrestling GM. And as you guys know, being a GM is all about competition. So in Wrestling GM you compete against AI companies in a viewership war to see who puts on the best show for the fans. People, Wrestling GM is available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, so make sure to download the game right now by using the link in the description below. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So we complained a lot about the 2-hour format of the WWE. On one hand, we're glad it's 2 hours. It used to work so well in the past, but the problem is the first 2-hour episode of Raw didn't have the right format. The second episode kinda did, but the show itself sucked. And I feel like this episode absolutely nailed it. You gotta love it when WWE starts with chaos. Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins fighting backstage in the arena. Bronson Reed just breaking shit, which is exactly what I want from this dude. Eventually, Seth Rollins got the upper hand, but we saw these two fighting a couple of more times during the show, and eventually Adam Pearce had enough. Just when you thought Adam's balls couldn't grow any bigger. Just when you they grew. Ballsack growth spurt right here. He announced a match between Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel, which I'm very excited about. I thought WWE are gonna make this match on Raw, but thankfully it's happening on a premium live event. As a matter of fact, I wish we got Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed at the pay-per-view. Adam Pearce was just tired of their shit and said, okay, I'm just gonna give you the match. Balls. Big balls. Gigantic balls. We got the WWE World Tag Team Championship Contenders Tournament first round match, the New Day versus Authors of Pain. Kinda took a break from Xavier Woods' heel turn right here. The match itself was pretty okay. Most importantly, it meant something, right? The Miz was with the Final Testament and he got attacked by R-Truth, and that's how the New Day won the match. Man, I like what Karrion Kross is doing. I like the Miz being in the Final Testament kinda. It's just kinda weird that The Miz, a former WWE champion, is sucking up to Karrion Kross, who, unfortunately, so far didn't accomplish anything in the WWE. Well, maybe except for the NXT Championship. I think he was, right? Again, I need a promo. I need The Miz talking about this. I need this to mean something. I need an explanation. But so far, I'm interested. What's even more interesting is that The Miz got attacked by the Wyatt Six. They got their asses handed to them. Oh, come on, Uncle Howdy. The old man didn't deserve it. Why would you attack an old man, Uncle Howdy? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess he attacked The Miz because The Miz, well, kinda turned on his family. Maybe the Wyatt Six versus the Final Testament ain't gonna do much for the Wyatt Six, but it definitely will for the Final Testament because they definitely need a serious rivalry. My only problem with the Wyatt Six is we didn't get that big thing yet. You know, we didn't even get them at a premium live event. And I understand understand, kinda. But I also kinda feel like WWE didn't roll with the momentum. We got Damage Control versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, because previously on the show, Liv Morgan said we could take these championships. Well, this was a non-title match. The match ended in typical women's tag team division chaos, which is kinda getting repetitive at this point. Rhea Ripley comes out and beats the crap out of everybody right here. I'm seeing so many people complaining about Rhea Ripley. Oh, she's booked way too strong, this and this and that and this and that and the other. It's Rhea, man. Okay, wrestling community is gonna cancel me. If at this point Rhea is going to win the championship, so what? Sure. Why not? She's just so above everybody in the WWE. When it comes to the women's division, at least. She's so popular. The majority of most viewed social media clips have Rhea Ripley. And okay, I might be the only one right here, but Raquel Rodriguez being in this faction in the Judgment Day is not doing much for me right now. As a matter of fact, I'm losing more interest. Another tag team championship tournament match. Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus American Made. Another pretty entertaining fast match, and like I told you, it's a 2-hour episode of Raw, but we got plenty of matches, entertaining matches, different variations of matches, so they finally nailed the 2-hour format, I think. And the LWO won. I kinda get because they've been losing way too much, and it's Rey Mysterio, I'm not gonna complain, but American Made, I don't know, man. I don't know. Losing a lot of momentum lately. Dominic Mysterio said, maybe I'm gonna win the World Heavyweight Championship. Everybody laughed. Raquel questions why Carlito is even in the faction, and Carlito says, I bring in the cool factor. He said, I'm gonna fix it, so he asked Adam Pearce for a World Championship match between Gunther and Dominic Mysterio. And Adam says, fine, I'll give him the WWE Championship match if he beats a former World Champion next week. Obviously, he won't. Or maybe he will. I don't know. But calling Carlito irrelevant, worthless, he brings in the comedy and apples, bunch of apples. Free apples, everybody. Damian Priest tells Gunther, I'm gonna earn that world championship opportunity and I'm gonna become the world heavyweight champion again. El Champion. And I love Gunther's response. Okay. Yeah, nobody really cares about that right now. Sorry, Damian. And finally, we got the Intercontinental Championship match. I think we all expected the Bloodline to show up to kinda build the storyline of Jey Uso finally embracing Roman Reigns. So we got the match, it was pretty entertaining, and we got the SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 cutscene with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa watching the match. They bought the goddamn tickets, they earned it. I do find it funny though that they had to buy tickets. Work here. The whole idea was Solo and Jacob are trying to help Jey, so maybe the intentions were, instead of you joining Roman, maybe you should join us. But since Jey didn't listen, and oh my god, I want to see this match right here, Jacob turned on Jey Uso. And eventually, that's how Bron Breakker won the Intercontinental Championship back, with the message, I guess, being, it didn't have to be this way, that's on you. Okay, let's address a couple of things right here. Bron Breakker winning the Intercontinental Championship, don't mind that, I think it's pretty cool. Now he's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion with a better championship right now, better looking championship. I think it works. I think that's the main reason why Jey Uso won the Intercontinental Championship in the first place, just so he could lose it because of the Bloodline. So it makes sense. Maybe people are going to overreact. Oh my god, that is a short championship title reign. They're burying him, hot potatoing the champ. No, come on. It works for the story. That's the main focus when it comes to professional wrestling, at least in my opinion. Should that be enough for Jey Uso to be like, okay, I'm gonna join Roman? I don't know. Most likely, most realistically, we will see a scenario where Jey is gonna get attacked by the Bloodline, probably even on SmackDown, and it's gonna be Roman who's gonna help Jey Uso, and that's gonna happen a few times, right? Eventually, Jey will kinda start trusting Roman Reigns. But in general, I love this episode of Raw. I felt like we didn't get too many moments where, you know, we were watching filler. Most of it meant something. Even if it's not a match you're really looking for, at least it had something on the line. You know, we had #1 contenders matches, a tournament. So, thank you for watching this video. By the way, check out this video of the complete history of Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. One of the best videos I've ever made, but unfortunately on YouTube, it happens all the time. The better the video is, the less views it gets for me. So check that out, leave a comment, leave a like, appreciate you very much.